Hey, what's up, people? Hey, my name is Tim Wilson. You know what I mean? I created a new channel. We calling it Wilson's House Blogs, and I just want to welcome you and thank you for just visiting. You can subscribe or like if you want. That's pretty cool too. But at the same time, if you're here, you want to try to figure out how to rejuvenate your solar pathway lights. So that's what we're here to do. Let me show you what my techniques are. I think it can help you. It's very beneficial to me. Let's see what's going on. Okay, forgive me, but it's kind of windy today here in North Texas. But you see how, like, the rain deposits and the hard water and all that other earthly accumulations can get your stuff start rusting up, looking nasty and ugly. So what we're gonna do is try to rejuvenate this today. Okay, as you can see, I have two areas performed. One where I intend on doing the actual cleaning process, and then here we have another one that I'm using for the spraying process. But I'm going to use this product, Routine Clean CLR Brilliant Bath, but this is mostly for hard water stains. So I'm going to just go ahead and do what they say first, and I'm going to soak this in prepared cold water. Just wiggle my fingers around in there a little bit. Just get it all nice and wet. It's important to make sure you get your fingers in there real good. It's not my first time doing this type of job. It actually works. I don't know if you can see that, but that little screw right there is going to be really important later because you're going to have to use it to take this whole assembly off once you get it done. But you have to get this cleaned up, or actually rinsed out and cleaned up, before you actually remove that assembly to take the glass out. The reason for that is because this stuff is, once it breaks, it breaks. But let's get to it. Okay, now this process, this is just a simple like handheld device. It's sandpaper, but it's from Gator, and it's a 220 grit. And now we're going to use this to sand this sucker down. And I just want to make sure that you got this fully aligned. See how it's fully aligned? All right, so, okay, now let's show you this up close and personal. See how the elements of the earth had seriously did a number on this sucker. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Rust, calcium line, deposits everywhere. So what we're going to do is unscrew it. You can see in there spiders that thought that that'd be a good idea to make this a nesting spot. So look at the glass. You can see inside in there. It's pretty bad. So what we're going to do next is we're going to get a screwdriver with a very, very small head, and we're just going to just unscrew it. Just like that. Be sure the screw is completely done. There you go. And from here, then comes the fun part. This element around it, right? It's very simple. You just have to try to get it loosened up. Might take a pair of pliers to loosen it up. If you got a grip like mine, it's not a problem. Just continue to undo it. If you can, push down on this one while you unscrew it, just to give it some ease. See how it comes right out? Let it go. And then here you go. And you have the glass element down that is really bad. So what we're gonna do is put that sucker down, move all these components away from it. CLR, baby. And we're gonna spray the sucker down. And we're just gonna let it sit for a while. And then we'll do a whole scrubbing and all that fun great stuff. But for now, it's better to just let this stuff soak in and absorb all those calcium and lime deposits. So you see how I have it pretty much filled up. Sorry, it's pretty windy in North Texas today. But you can see what I did there. Yeah, kind of practically filled up the glass, as you can see. But we're just going to leave it like that right now. And we'll come back and finish it up. All right, so now as you can see, the CLR has been able to absorb in about 5 to 10 minutes. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and just spray it again. More CLR. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to just take a basic Scotch pad with some already prepared Luke water, and we're just going to scrub it. Now it's time to scrub it. Make sure you get the outside real good, because if you have to understand the way that the weather works, it's always on the outside. It's not on the inside of things. So you want to get that real good. Get up in there. Just show you how it works. You want to make sure you get all parts of it, all of the inside, all of the outside. Get it all good, because it's actually relatively simple. You know, this product is so good at removing calcium and lime and hard water stains, all that stuff. But you got to make sure that it penetrates real good. And when it does that, you have a really brilliant finished product. So let's get up in there and just dab it in the water like that. And then I'm going to do it again. Just to make sure we got it. We have to get it good the first time. Like I said, get it good the first time. That way you ain't ever got to do it again. Get it good. You know, put some elbow grease in that sucker. You know, make sure you get that sucker clean. Because if you do it good the first time, then you got at least another year before you have to do it again. And you ain't ever have to worry about going over to Lowe's or Home Depot and buying it again. My gosh, I eventually got tired of buying this stuff, so I had to figure out how to make it work. So I see miss a spot there. So let's make sure we got it. Yep. Looks pretty good to me. So what we're going to do, just let it sit in the water for just a few minutes, and then we're just going to let it dry. Once you take it out of the water, you just let it air dry for about 5 minutes, and then we'll put another coat of the vinegar on it, and then we'll start the process of sanding. Okay, now for the glass, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a Windex with vinegar. Spray it up real nice and proper. Even that small little assembly that goes for the light. And then we're just going to clean it up real good. Just cleaning it up. It makes me want to put it in the dishwasher. I think that'd be a little bit easier, wouldn't it? Actually, I think I might try that. We just clean that up real nice and good. Okay, it's looking pretty nice. Vinegar has an effect on all that mildew, mold, and all that other stuff, so that's why it's always a good option to use, especially Windex with that in the assembly. Get that shined up. Okay, cool. Last but not least, WD-40. Let's get it on. You don't need a whole bunch, just a little bit. You have to remember this is like a grease anyway, so it's gonna coat no matter what. where the blue tape came from. Let's go ahead and shine it up. There you go, look at that. Brilliant, eh? Looks great. So it's done. Next, we will see the final results. Okay, now we have the casing that the glass was in. So as you can see here, I mean, this stuff is pretty bad. It's like super bad. We have all these deposits. We have earthly deposits. We have spider webs, you name it. So the best thing that we can do for this is go ahead and we're gonna have to clean it out. We're gonna have to clean it out before we actually put a new coat and the paint on it, you know. But the best thing about this particular process is we don't have to sand it down. You know, this can just be painted right over. So let's just clean it up just a tad bit, get all those deposits off of it. Mind you, this is just to make your stuff usable, just for like extra years. It's like putting a little bit of extra life on products that you had already paid for in the first place. So once you see all those deposits and spider webs and whatnot all worked out of there, a few more dippings. There you go. So from here, I'm gonna put this where I put the glass to dry in the nice hot sun. As you can see, the glass is looking real good. And we have a trick to making this look even better. All right, stay tuned. We'll be back in a second. Okay, now to clean this type of deal, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use that Gator 220 Easy Pills, which I showed you, and just gonna start sanding it down. See how easily that came off? It don't take very much effort. And mind you, this hasn't been cleaned ever. So you can see it's definitely working. But easier process would be just a normal copper strip. You can just sand that stuff away real fast with the copper strip. And then we'll just smooth it out with the Gator strips. Let's get this all nice and primed up. See? Not too shabby. Just gotta keep that. And yes, I am sanding the solar plastic glass also. Getting it all in one go. You have as many solar lights as I do, you should understand that this is not going to be an easy fix. I have to do quite a bit of lights. And I'm pretty sure if you're like me, you want to try to get as much done in one day as you possibly can. So now this is almost done. The copper, then we can start on the easy part, which would be the actual sanding. So let's get to sanding. All right, so now that we pretty much have everything wiped down and sanded up and all that good stuff, we're gonna just take some basic painter's tape and cover that solar thing up. Doesn't matter if you don't get it right the first time, it's okay. We have a method for that too. Just put it around the entire area of that small panel. Try to use bigger pieces. It makes the cutting process just a little bit easier. I don't want to waste so much tape. It's okay, trust me. It's no big loss. All right. So once you have that all smoothed down and all that good stuff, doesn't matter what kind of cutter you use. It could be a 5-cent cutter or a $50 cutter. You'll see the grooves on the side that you see here on the outline. Just go to the further corner and just go down. It's that simple, that easy. Okay, once it's done, just peel it off. Okay, so last piece. I'm not exactly liking the way that's looking, so I'm gonna do this last little part just one more time. It's that piece in here. I don't like how that lines up. If that don't go good, then it's not gonna be able to charge all the way that it needs to be charged. So let's make sure we can always get the maximum of everything. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is one more small little piece, and that light is gonna need to be taped up. Just go around the area of it like a circle. That just make sure it's all sealed up, and then from here we're gonna start the painting process. All right, since now we have that done, it's best to just check and make sure you can just feel the areas. If they're smooth, it doesn't matter if it's pretty or not. Just want it to be smooth. And then check the outside element with the light and make sure that that is smooth all the way down, because you don't want no paint hitting that light. It's gonna mess it all up. So we just go ahead and drop it and let's start painting. For this, I use a satin Rust-Oleum. This one has a paint and primer, so it's known to be working pretty good in the past, so we're gonna use it now. Just gonna spray that stuff on. Make sure you coat the sides also, not just the top. From an exterior point of view, like especially if you have guests or even passerbyers, you want them to see it looking good. Okay, so from there we have the casing that it went on. So let's get that all wrapped up too. So you don't need very much for this. It's a pretty easy thing to do. Just a couple sprays. You don't have to just overdouse it with spray. You just want to make sure you coat it real good. Make it look all nice and whatnot. So now that that's done, what I'm going to do, I'm going to let it sit for a few hours, and then we'll admire at the finished product. But before we do that, actually I need to get into that glass work, and we need to clean that up. So let's get into that. Okay, I just wanted to showcase the finished result, the finished product. Once we got it all worked out and done, cleaned up, this is what it looks like now versus what it looked like before. And as you can see, that's a big old pile of rust versus what we're dealing with now. Now it's glossy and glimmering and shining, and I'm pretty sure it's going to illuminate really well tonight. I'll show you that later. Okay, so here is the nighttime view. I just wanted to show the difference in it. This is before This is uncleaned, unpainted, uncleaned, unpainted. And then we go through the ones that are. You can see the difference. It's the difference in the night. Like you can literally see it. Yeah, the ones that are not clean look a little bit more luminescent, but trust me, it's not. And it's not attractive either. It's more far away. So you can see what I'm talking about here. Yeah, see? Check it out. And that's the difference. I'll turn off the lights here in a second in the front. That way we can get a better view at what it really looks like without any light, without the outside lights on. Okay, now this is what it looks like with all the garage lights off and the outside lights off. This is what they look like. Those two have been cleaned, and these have not. So let me just skim back so you can get a visual on how good of a project this is. Not cleaned, not cleaned, not cleaned versus cleaned. Check that out. Me, it's damn near beautiful. Brand new almost. Versus that sad, pathetic stuff. Alright, so there you go. Hope it helps. Hope it can benefit you and what you're doing. See you next time, next video.